the governorship candidate of the SDP in the Rivers governorship election, a former federal lawmaker, Senator Magnus joins us live here in Abuja. So thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for having me here.
Have you had enough rest after the election?
I've just been at home.
I mean, let me get your reaction to the EU's position on our election. What do you make of their position?
Well, I think substantially, I believe that our electoral process in this country, we've done very well. I must say that. When I say that, a lot of times people are surprised. But the truth of the matter is that I have been part of elections in this country from 1999 and even before that, up till today. And I keep saying to people that the 2023 elections is actually the best election we've ever conducted in this country.
Really?
Yes.
Some people will say, I've had a guest on Sunday who said, this is a downer compared to what we had in 2015, and 2019 was a low, but this is, in fact, lower in terms of standards compared to 2019.
If you look at the participation of the parties, the participation of the people, the process itself, the laws under which the elections were conducted, these are massive improvements in what we've always done.
In what areas would you say
First of all, in the law, in the use of technology, in the use of accreditation. The failures of the system, where the system was allowed to work, it worked very well. But actually, the truth of the matter, as your guest was saying just now, is that the conduct of politicians and key political stakeholders in undermining the process itself is actually the biggest problem that we face as far as elections are concerned. And even in the older democracies, election itself is always very much, how would I put it now? It's always very much work in progress. You continue to improve. As you see things that undermine or challenge the process or challenge the practices that you have, you take steps to correct them. So I think that as in every other election cycle, there is a lot for us to learn from the last elections. But in terms of the improvements of our electoral process, anybody who is objective would admit that the 2023 elections, the 2022 Electoral Act are very major leaps forward for the Federal Republic of Nigeria in terms of elections. So we can do it better. Even in terms of following the rules that we ourselves have set forth, we can improve. For example, you heard everybody talking about the way INEC picks the staff and those who actually conduct the elections. There is a process that is set out in the electoral system for picking this staff. People are to apply singly, online and all that. But this process at the end of the day can be subverted, as it was in several places, where those lists of those who applied independently is replaced by hand-picked people. So all these are things that are self-inflicted injuries on the electoral system.
Yeah, from your own point of view,
improve that.
The 2023 election was the best.
It's not just I'm telling you that I have followed elections in this country. I was a victim of a 2023 election, so I know the things that are wrong.
So you lost the election fairly?
No, I'm telling you that I know the things that are wrong with the elections. The things that are wrong with the elections is not the law or the process. So it is the fact that politicians refuse in several places and in several cases to respect the rules and the systems that have been put in place.
So in Rivers State, where you ran for governor, was the election free and fair there?
I have already said severally that it was not. The process...
So when you say the election was generally a good one, so it's an exception of Rivers State?
Listen, I have said before, and I want to repeat here, that wherever the process was allowed to work, this process that we have put in place for elections in this country is very, very good. It is a superb improvement on what we had before. In
Rivers State, did it work?
It didn't work in Rivers State.
Everybody knows Rivers was an exception of the...
Yes, because people made it not to work, because people didn't respect the rules. So where people respect the rules and play by the rules, we will have an outcome that will be pretty much acceptable to almost...
So were you rigged out in Rivers?
Sure, I have said clearly that for me, and I want to repeat that here, the election in Rivers State was an aberration. And I even said that before the election, that there will be problem in Rivers State. And everybody knew that there will be problem. But you know, coming down here now, I'm not here to discuss Rivers State election. I'm talking about Nigeria and the Nigerian process as far as this election is concerned.
You know, Rivers is an element within the
Yes, but even before the election in Rivers State, I told the whole world that everybody in Nigeria knew that Rivers State would be a problem, and it was.
So are you in court to challenge the process?
No, I've withdrawn from the court.
Why?
Why did I withdraw? There are several reasons why I withdrew.
Political exigency? Political
exigency and practical...
Chief of which is what?
Sorry?
Out of political exigency, as a chief of your reason is which one?
Well, Sean, you know that we have a new president, we have new hopes, we have a new atmosphere. And I do believe that as much as possible at this point, all of us should put hands together to see how we can move the country forward.
So are you still in SDP or you have moved to the APC?
I have not moved, but I went to the SDP primarily because of the Rivers State situation and the politics of Rivers State. As far as the national politics was concerned, I have always been where you know that I am. So let's leave that one and move forward.
A man.
That's where I am.
Okay. Yeah, you said we are in a new era of renewed, of course. I mean, I always, the caveat is there that those who are unhappy with President Tinubu's victory and they've gone to court to challenge. We've seen a whole lot of issues being raised when they are calling the witness and the facts that are emerging from the examination in chief, which is the very first before we start seeing the defense from the other side. Now, the question is whether or not Bola Tinubu has the capacity to galvanize the Nigerian people, because there are those who voted for him and there are those who did not vote for him. So there is that division, but then there is a nation to govern. So the question is, does he have the capacity to be able to coalesce, to be able to bring Nigeria together and galvanize them?
Well, Sean, you know, like I said from the outset, of all those who indicated interest to run this country, nobody was better prepared, nobody has better experience, nobody has greater capacity.
Even Atiku Abubakar?
No, he doesn't have it.
Even Peter Obi?
Oh, Atiku Abubakar, with all due respect to him, when he himself was politically challenged, he ran to Tinubu. It was Tinubu who accommodated him, gave him a platform, supported him, sponsored him, and he ran. So this man has the capacity, the knowledge, and the reach to be able to bring diverse people together in this country. He has shown that repeatedly. And in this last election, if it was not for the fact that it was the Tinubu that was running, I doubt if we would have been able to, if the APC would have been able to do as much as it did with all the challenges, the currency change, everything that went on in this country. It was only Asiwaju who had the personal reach across this country to be able to bring together the kind of force that he brought about. This is the only politician in the history of this country that has been able to bring the conservative West into an alliance, the conservative North into an alliance with the progressive West, and uproot a sitting government, and then turn around to now bring himself back as the president of this country. Is in terms of political strategy, engineering, dexterity, the ability to bring people together, I don't think you have a match in Asiwaju. That said, Seun, let me say this. During the inauguration, I said that Nigerians have a very low expectation of Tinubu, and it will be very, very easy for him to surpass that expectation. And events in less than 3 weeks have proved me right. A lot of people seem to be surprised that by the actions the president has taken, by his speed, by his understanding of the challenges of this country, by his courage, and by his determination to get this country to where he wants to take the country to. But those of us who knew him are not surprised. We knew that all this was possible with Tinubu at the helm. And that's why you see everywhere now people are turning, oh, his father. In fact, everybody now is singing one song, that they didn't know that Asiwaju has the capacity to do the things he's doing. But we always knew that. And we told Nigerians...
But what has he done that you think that... and who are these people that are singing his song?
A lot of people. Very soon you sing it. But let me come,
no, I'm a journalist. Let me come, show. I don't sing anybody's song.
Let me come,
I just do my job as a journalist. That's just it.
Don't worry, we'll get there. You say, who are these people and what has he done? Let me tell you something. Let's take simply the removal of this fuel subsidy, for instance. Every president that has come to office in this country has come with that understanding that the fuel scarcity, the fuel subsidy is a scam, it's destroying our economy, it's killing our country, it's subsidizing the entire West African sub-region, it's unsustainable, it will ruin us. They all said that, they all knew that. But no president was able to finally cross that line to say it ends now, whatever it is, without leaving the Eagle Square. Asiwaju achieved that for this country. That's something that, you know, people danced around for years and they couldn't do it. He's done it. So it may look simple because it has been done, but it was actually one of the most difficult challenges that this country has faced.
There are those who, in fact, believe that that was a political suicide, a governance misstep. That's, a lot of people thought that maybe that was a knee-jerk approach. But the question is that if you hear from the statement released by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, it says some of these things were in the pipeline. And the reasons why it did not discharge some of these policy directions or decisions was not to hurt Tinubu's ambition of becoming president. And is that, look, there are some of these, in fact, some of the bills, just for a moment, some of the bills that the president has signed, these are bills that have been prepared under the Buhari administration, signed and given to President Tinubu to sign. So there are those who will say, look, there isn't so much that has been done. It's going to be 1 month in the next 2 days.
First of all, Sean, I don't want to go into any kind of controversy with our former president. He's our father, and we must be respectful of him in our discussions. But I am not a spokesman for the Tinubu presidency. I'm just a Nigerian who is privileged to have been part of the politics of this country, and so I have a few things to say. If people were so concerned about helping Tinubu to win the election, one of the things that actually gave the greatest challenge both to the election and to the capacity of the APC to perform well in the election was the change of currency. That directly impacted the election. The question of oil subsidy removal could have been done any time within the past 8 years, and it would not have affected the elections at all. And it could have even been done after the elections, when the elections had already concluded. There was still a window to have done it then. It wasn't done. So I don't want to go into any kind of controversy about that. But what I want to say is that if somebody has done something, let us give the person the credit for the one he has achieved. Anybody who did his own will also get his own credit. So that's one. Yeah. When you talk about, say, bills had been prepared and signed, okay, if they had been signed, why were they still there for the incoming president to sign them again? So it is clear that these bills had not been signed.
No, I didn't say they had been signed. I said they were there because it was the Ninth Assembly that had prepared them. And these are the arguments that are being made by those who are critical of the Tinubu presidency, who have said, just a moment, Senator, that, look, in the last 1 month, you look at the effect and the implication of the policy decision of this government. They spent less than a month in office, and it has cost more expensive the kind of food that Nigerians are buying. They perhaps are now buying them 3 times the normal price. Their lives are perhaps harder than it used to be less than a month ago. They woke up and one day they just saw that their lives have taken a 360-degree turn. And for those who think now electricity tariff will now go off by some percentage, they are wondering what has happened to them. Those who voted will probably think, did they make a mistake?
Sure. Let me respond to some of these things that you're saying. First of all, money the most critical thing about money is that you have it. It is not what things cost. If things cost 10 naira and you don't have 10 naira, you're out of the demand for that particular product. People are buying airplanes that cost $300 million because they have $300 million. Nigerians are leaving Nigeria to go to London, to go to America, where fuel is costing $4 a gallon, $3 a gallon. It is not fuel they are going to look for. They are looking for opportunities to make money. So even though fuel is more expensive, things may be more expensive, but the opportunities are wider. The capacity of
immediately,
as they get there, they start making money.
Are you sure that those opportunities are immediate?
I'm coming, sir. But that economy provides opportunity for people to be able to achieve an actual. That's why everybody's going there. In fact, the other day, there was a joke that somebody posted on the internet that, if the British and the Americans were to come back now with slave ships to come and carry slaves from Nigeria, that volunteers, Nigerian volunteers, will fill the ships by themselves. And somebody wrote under that, in fact, he will come with his own chain. He doesn't want to get there and hear that chains are finished so they cannot carry him. That's how much people want to go to where there's opportunity. What the president is trying to do is to create opportunities in Nigeria for Nigerians to be able to make money and expand their own capacity to improve their lives. So yes, the price of fuel may go up, but it will also come down. Today, fuel is being imported by only NNPC. NNPC is an unwealthy organization that is totally, would I say, it is a government propped up organization that is inefficient. If today Sheung Ogunbaloye and Sons decides to import fuel and is given the license and the finances to import, you don't have the same overhead with NNPC. So your own may probably be cheaper than theirs. So these policies have just come in place. They are going to expand opportunities for Nigerians. People will be able to make money.
Senator,
now look at the single forex window, for example. If you look at the single forex window, what has it done? Today, some people were in my house. They brought me some documents. These are people who tried to import foreign exchange into Nigeria for almost 2 years. They've not been able to get their money out of the CBN. What happens? They bring money in, CBN grabs their money, gives it to you at 450 naira or some ridiculous rate, and then they turn around, give it to some favored person at the same rate. The person takes your money, cross over the street to the parallel market.
What has been happening?
That's what was happening in this country.
Really?
Yes, everybody knows it now.
That the CBN gives out money to some of their
preferred people, yes. It's been on the front page of the papers where they say, the other day, one of the papers carried it, that they gave how many bureau de change licenses to some people, and they were giving.
Is it part of the reasons why Mr. Emefiele was arrested?
I didn't arrest Mr. Emefiele, and I cannot come on national television to give reasons why Mr. Emefiele was arrested. But the other day I was in church, and the bishop of the Methodist Church in my place was saying that one of the things that he is now supporting President Tinubu for is the arrest of Emefiele because of what he went through, and everybody should pray for Tinubu and pray that Emefiele remains in jail. He said so. So people saw all these things, that it wasn't helping the economy.
Senator, right? Yeah. You think Tinubu means well for Nigeria, right?
It's not that I think, I know. I know that he means well, and I know that our economy, by the grace of God, is going to expand in ways that Nigerians will be amazed at the opportunities that will be open to people in this country. I know, it's not that I think.
His policies may have immediate impact, and pains might be felt, is it?
Yeah, because these are things that you have to, first of all, put in the policy. So the pains will come as soon as the policy is changed. But in that same change of policy, there will be opportunities. And as people begin to take advantage of those opportunities offered by the change in policy, then the benefits will begin to accrue to Nigerians.
Senator, we'll anchor on this scenario that I will paint. You know, you're a big man. You may not be able to feel what some of us who are very low in the ladder, in the social ladder, are facing. Let me give you an example. A Nigerian citizen who earns 100,000 naira per month, he feeds with about 20,000 naira, out of it remaining 80,000. It takes transportation with another 20,000. It remains for him 60,000. He gives he saves up 20,000. He gives his children and family another 20,000 for daily living. Do you know what has happened recently? Sure. Just for a moment, sir. That feeding money is doubled or more. So he will have to pay about 40,000 or more for feeding, about 40,000 or more for transportation. He has less than 20,000 naira for the rest of the thing. How do you explain to this person that Tinubu means well for him?
Sure, that's the point I'm trying to make. You are focusing on the fact that this man has 100,000. This man has 100,000. There is no opportunity in this economy.
I'm focusing on the fact that the average and the common man is feeling the pain, maybe more than you, the big man.
I'm coming, sir. What I'm saying is this, that progress, prosperity is not just about what things cost. It is about the ability of the average person to make more money. And in this Nigeria, outside of stealing or criminality, there is no opportunity for that man who is making 100,000 to be able to improve on that is 100,000. So he's stuck in a given place. He has no hope. He is despondent. That's why he wants to leave to a place where he can have opportunity. What the policies of this president is going to do is that it is going to expand the opportunity for the average Nigerians. So that man that is making 100,000, when these policies begin to percolate into the economy, he will have an opportunity to now be making 200,000. So he will actually be better off.
We do hope
what this whole thing is about creating opportunities for the Nigerian people.
We do hope
and
that
even in the downstream sector, opportunities will expand. More people will get in, more people will make more money. That's what the whole thing is about, making money. And Tinubu understands money.
We hope that all of this will pan out well for the average Nigerians. Thank you so much.
Let's work and support it. It will work out.
Senator Magnus, a former federal lawmaker, governorship candidate of the SDP in Rivers State in 2023 governorship election. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you around.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here.